एक बात पूछती हूँ, please answer me honestly. What do you see when you look at someone in their 40s or 50s? Do they look tired? Like not physically tired, like life tired. I'm talking about that quiet tiredness you can see in their behavior, right? Like they talk less, they react less, like they're rarely excited. The kind of reaction that comes from years of pressure, responsibilities, disappointment, and carrying so much emotion without talking about them. There is a reason for that. Most people don't regret what they did when they were young. They regret what they did not understand. So today I want to talk about the real mistakes people make in their 20s and 30s. The number one mistake people make is building their life around external validation. आपके दोस्तों का ओपिनियन, आपके पेरेंट्स का एक्सपेक्टेशन, सोसाइटी का डेफिनेशन क्या है सक्सेस को लेके, आपके बॉस का प्रेशर, आपके बॉस का डिमांड. Psychologists call it contingent self-worth. That means your values start depending on things outside you, like approval of others, comparison with someone else, and success in a particular domain of life, like marriage or career. Research linked to self-determination theory shows that when people rely heavily on external validation, they experience more anxiety, stress, and dissatisfaction later in life. So initially, it feels like ambition. मुझे दूसरों से अच्छा करना है. मेरा अगर आपका कोई कजन है तो मुझे उस भाई से बेटर करना है, मुझे अपनी उस बहन से बेटर करना है. But slowly when you start seeing things clearly, it turns out into frustration, disappointment, regret, and quite bitterness towards you and everything that led you here. Number two is playing safe when you should be truly aligned to your path. In your 20s and early 30s, you are taught, be practical. You have family to start, or you have family to look after. Play safe. What if it doesn't work out? Don't take risk. Maybe it could spoil everything. And what do? You start believing these words, and creating your life around these words. You slowly disconnect from the things which once made you feel alive. You stop listening to that quiet voice that tried to guide you. You choose comfort over curiosity, security over spark. And in your late 30s and early 40s, when truth finally comes out and you start seeing everything clearly, you don't regret choosing the wrong job. You regret choosing safety over self-trust. You remember all the times when your heart said, try, but fear said, stay. And you wonder how different life could have felt if you had just believed in yourself and not believed others. And there is a Harvard adult development study, one of the longest running human studies, that found something powerful. It says people who felt they had control over their direction were significantly happier in their midlife than people who stayed only for stability. Because feeling in control of your life matters more than simply feeling safe. Number three is staying too long in wrong relationship. Here is something people do not admit openly. They regret staying in wrong relationship than staying alone. So why do they stay? There are a few reasons to that. Number one is fear of unknown. Let me tell you, they don't stay because they are satisfied. They stay because they are terrified. They are terrified of living their life alone. They are terrified, what would society say? So what they do? They think familiar pain is better than unfamiliar peace. So they hold on to what they have in hand instead of exploring anything new. They just want to stay where they are. Reason number two of staying in wrong relationship for too long is financial survival. If you are in your 20s, probably you don't know that money traps more people than love. Shared rent, EMI, school fees, loan, lifestyle, walking out feels like impossible. So again the trap. You can't leave, you can't stay. Reason number three is something called sunk cost fallacy. In this mental trap, you keep investing your energy and emotion into something because you have already invested so much. It's that voice in your head which says, I have already spent so much time. मैंने already इतना सारा time, अपना energy मैं इसमें दे चुका हूँ. Let me try थोड़ा और time देते हैं, थोड़ी और कोशिश करते हैं. मे बी अगर हम थोड़ा और कोशिश करेंगे तो चीजें ठीक हो सकती हैं. Reason number 4 is low self-worth. Here people think, alright, whatever I have got is enough. मैं इतना ही डिजर्व करता हूँ. So we have covered why people stay in wrong relationship for too long. Let's come back to mistakes people make in their 20s and 30s. So mistake number 4 is treating mental health like something to fix later. This one is huge. Most people don't learn emotion regulation until it's too late. So they don't know how to process that. They suppress their emotion like stress, anxiety in endless scrolling, binge watching, overworking, and they call it, I am coping with that. Actually, they are not coping with it. They are running from it because they don't know how to manage that. It becomes so heavy for them to sit with their feelings. So they just want to run from that. Neuroscience shows that when emotions are constantly suppressed instead of processed in a healthy way, the body doesn't forget it. It stores them. Over time, it surfaces as chronic anxiety, burnout, unhappy and disconnected relationship, and even serious health issues. The dangerous part is, in your 20s and early 30s, you don't notice these things because you have bigger fish to fry. You have to be productive, busy, and survive each day. But in your 40s, your body starts reacting to things you ignored. So what you ignored earlier is not going to disappear anywhere. It's going to come back to you and you have to pay the price, but this time with interest. Mistake number 5 is ignoring your health. Not exercising, poor sleep, junk food, these things do not show their impact immediately. Research shows that lifestyle habits formed before 40 strongly predict your risk of diabetes, heart disease, obesity, joint problem, and even memory decline later in life. Studies have found that lack of movement and sleep deprivation raise cortisol level and inflammation in your body. Over time, this silently weakens your immune system, slows your metabolism, and accelerates your aging. In your younger years, your body compensates. In your 40s and 50s, it starts collecting the bill. By then, recovery becomes harder, slower, and more expensive. So what you should be doing differently? Number 1, don't build your life around approval. Build it around what you genuinely want and value. And that you'll have to figure it out first. Number 2 is don't numb your emotion. Learn to feel them. Learn to understand them. Learn to listen what they're trying to tell you, what they're trying to protect you from. Number 3, don't live where you feel suffocated. Choose space, environment which helps you breathe, which helps you grow, which helps you become truly yourself. Number 4, don't build your space, your life, which looks good from outside. Like everybody knows that, all right, you have a good life, but you feeling suffocated inside. Don't build such life. Build a life where, no matter how much chaos you see outside, but when you come home, you feel that honesty, you feel that peace, that you have made something incredible for yourself. So if this video made you think and pause or reflect even a little bit, that means you are already more self-aware than you think. And honestly, these kind of conversation matters. Because if you're thinking somebody in your family would tell you, I doubt. People don't discuss these things openly. So if this spoke to you, hit the like button. This really helps the message reach to more people because that's what we really want. And I would also love to hear what you think people regret the most later in life. Let me know in the comment box. And if you are into mindset, growth, psychology, mental clarity, self-improvement, which I think you already are, that's why you are here, hit the subscribe button because I post content which helps you think, which helps you grow, not just scroll. Thank you for watching.